What's up? It's James from Cardbound here filling in for Davide for this week. Going to show you one of my Pokemon decks. This is a fire electric deck, so it uses two types of Pokemon. This isn't really for tournaments, it's more of a fun deck to play with your friends. Or, you know, if you do kind of play it competitive and you play the rules kind of fast and loose like I do, it's pretty good. So if you don't like it, definitely leave a comment and let me know what you find wrong with it. If you like it, like this video or subscribe and I'll show you some more. Let's kick it in with the electric part of the deck. The main techie cards are Minun and Plusle, mainly because of these two passives. The main Minun's poker power is once during your turn before you attack, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw two cards. You can't use more than one minus charge poker power each turn. This power can't be used if Minun is affected by a special condition. And its other move is just tag play. If you have a Plusle on your bench, you may move an energy card attached to Minun to one of your bench Pokemon. I'll explain what you do with these two in a bit. The sad tale of this Plusle, who's about to get sucked in by a jet engine, and the quite sad looking lonely Minun over there, who's probably going to see all the gore coming out on the other end. But anyway, this Plusle's main power is tag draw. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 4 cards. If Minun is on your bench, draw 4 more cards, and positive iron, which does 20 plus damage. Flip a coin if heads, this stack does 10 more damage. Mainly, you would have Minun on your deck. No, on your bench. My apologies. Put him on your bench. If you have Plusle in your hand at the beginning, great, you just stick him out, stick an energy on him, then you just start funneling, setting up your bench, putting as many energies as you want, using out your hand, because Plusle is pretty much a built-in Professor Oak's new theory. You just use tag draw at the end and you get another 8 cards. So you can do that all day, every day, no problem. Minun, you would never take him out. He always stays on your bench, mainly because of minus charge. Never put any energies on him, never put him in battle. Just stick him in your bench. If Plusle dies and you get 2 cards, great. If any card dies and you get 2 cards. So that's always a good compensation. It's a good consolation prize if any of your Pokemon die. That could save your game. I know it definitely does mine quite a lot. So I only run one of each, because you don't really need more than one, especially because of Minun. You can't use his ability more than once. And you don't really want to draw these guys. It's useful at the beginning, or if you're having trouble, if you have a crappy hand and you have Pokemon Exchange or a Luxury Ball or something. You probably wouldn't waste it on these. It's just useful when you draw them. Right. Next is Techie. Well, he's kind of a switch hitter in terms of tech and damage. Electrike. I run 2 Electrikes. 2 different ones. I run 2 different ones mainly because I like using artwork of both of them. And I just like having the different effects. So let's look at this Electrike first. Again, he's quite shiny, so you'll see the camera through him. I'm sorry if that's ruined your suspension of disbelief. Your raw for 1 energy. Your opponent switches the defending Pokemon with one of his or her bench Pokemon. That is actually quite a thing in this deck. Whilst you're trying to set up, I have a Blaziken that does this as well. The main thing is you just keep cycling them through, just to make sure that they haven't got their main heavy hitter in front of you doing damage. Just try and keep it on the bench, and you'll be fine. The other ability is Thunderfang for 20. Flip a coin if heads, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. So he's quite good. He's quite a good staller. I mainly use the Electrikes and the Manectrics to sort of save my ass until Blaziken or Luxray show up. The next one is Electrike. again, they both have 50 HP, which isn't particularly good, especially for such a stage 1 evolutionary type, but if you look at their abilities, they're pretty useful. Especially this one, Sniff Out. Put one card from your discard pile into your hand, so it's really good for recovering any card really. I mean, that's a really good follow-up to any kind of lost battle or lost Pokemon. It's just staple. It's a really useful ability. Or Quick Blow, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 10 damage plus 10 more damage. You wouldn't really use it for that. Again, I'd keep Electrike in my bench. I'd probably put this one out if I could, and just keep roaring, keep making your opponent cycle through his Pokemon. So if he starts trying to build one up, I'd just use Roar, make him cycle out another one, use Roar, make him cycle out another one. So he has to waste his energies and his evolutions on loads and loads of cards, and also that thins out his hand. Just basically makes him waste his time. This Electrike is also mainly really good, say, if you had Plusle out, but you still want to use his ability, but he dies. Then you draw the 2 cards thanks to Minun, and then you take out Electrike, then you Sniff Out, you get Plusle back on. And then you can just get the energy, you can get anything that you lost from that whole endeavour. So those are the Electrikes. Next you have the Manectrics. This Manectric is my defender one, and this one is my damaging one. I'll show you the techie one as well. I keep him for his Pokebody, which is Electric Barrier. I'll show you the usefulness of it later. You prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon, excluding Manectric, by attacks. So if your opponent tries to attack any Pokemon that you're trying to build up, he would completely negate it. If he does damage to all your bench Pokemon, he only does damage to Manectric. His main abilities are Power Wave. This does 30 damage to each Pokemon that has any Poké Powers, both yours and your opponent's. Don't apply weakness. You wouldn't really use this unless your opponent pretty much has a lot of Pokemon. A lot of my Pokemon in this deck have quite a lot of Poké Powers, so I don't really use Power Wave. I mainly use him for Attract Current, which does 40, and search your deck for an electric energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon and shuffle your deck afterwards. The usefulness of that power is pretty much self-evident. That allows you to attach 2 energies per turn and also search, so you don't have to bother searching for an electric energy. You could use, say, like an energy search or a Asylum, which is what I run, to look for pure fire energies, boost up the fire Pokemon, and then use this one to use Attract Current to boost up another Manectric. So that's mainly why I run this one. The other Manectric is mainly damage. As you can see, it does Energy Crush for 20, only costs 1 electric energy, does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon. This is really useful against a fighting deck. It can really turn the tide of battle, especially since you may have noticed that most of these have a weakness of fighting energies. And if they're running anything like a Machamp or a Conkeldurr, I remember those just stack energies. Or a fire or even an electric deck. Very, very energy hungry. So that can do an insane amount of damage. And Flash Impact for 80 does 20 damage to one of your Pokemon. Don't apply weaknesses. I'll use this, but I'd mainly use that if I have this other Manectric. So I'd keep this Manectric on the bench. Let's say I have the Minun. So again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments that I can do this. I mainly do 80 damage. I do 22 Minun. That's cancelled out because of this Manectric. Or I just do 20 to this Manectric. Because, well, it's There to take damage really. This one really bites the bullet for your deck. You're not really going to play a match where Plusle and Manectric survive. Manectrics are here to do damage and distract your enemy while you build up the main heavy hitters. And that is of the electric side of this deck. That is my Luxray. So I don't run a pyramid like most people do. I do 2-2-2 because I have supporters and trainers for that, which I'll get into later. So I run 2 Shinxes. These two, because mainly they're adorable and I love their artwork. I can't remember who actually does the artwork for this Shinx, but they're completely amazing and I actually collect some of their cards. But yeah, for this Shinx, I mainly use Recharge, search your deck for an energy and attach it to this Shinx and shuffle your deck afterwards. Again, like 2 energies per turn. Self-evident, really useful. Double Kick for 2 energies, flip 2 coins, this attack does 20 damage times the number of heads. Not particularly reliable, but you'd be using Recharge until you get a Luxio. This Shinx isn't really as useful as the other one, but like I said, I love the artwork. He just does Gnaw for 10 and Swagger for 20, and flip a coin if heads, discard an energy attached to the defended Pokemon, which is pretty useful. And of course, this Shinx has Swagger, so how can you hate? These are my 2 Luxios. Contrary to the rest of my deck, I run 2 of the same artwork. And this Luxio is mainly useful for, well, it does Fasten Claws for 1 any energy. It does 10 damage. Flip a coin if heads, this attack does 30 more damage. Pretty useful. But mainly Thunderfang, flip a coin if heads, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. Paralyzed is one of the most frigging annoying abilities. Well, it's one of the most annoying status effects in this game. Bar probably poison or burn. So yeah, this Luxio, sorry, is pretty fucking useful. And of course, the heavy hitter of the electric side is Luxray. Why? Because he does Flash Impact for 1 energy and 60 damage. Does 20 damage to one of your Pokemon. Again, if you have the Manectric, that's cancelled out. So you get free 60 energy for 1 energy. No, free, it's 60 attack energy. 60 attack for 1 energy. And you don't apply weaknesses. So again, that's good against pretty much anything. And also Crunch for 80. Cost 3 energies, yes, but with that Shinx, with the Manectric, with most of the electric side, it's really easy to stick energies on the electrics. It's really just easy to get energies on in your hand to equip any of these. It's really hard in this deck, playing through it, to never not have energies. But Crunch for 80 damage, let me get that in focus. Flip a coin if heads, discard an energy attached to the defending Pokemon. That can be annoying as hell. Like, really annoying. I can't tell you how many times, like, I actually have to apologise for how frigging annoying this Luxray is. But I run 2 exactly the same. And 140 health, pretty decent. So that's the electric side. But the electric side is quite techy. It's the main tech of the deck, but it isn't the most powerful. What is the most powerful is the Blazerkins. I will show you I run FBs, the standard, just gym leader ones. I run 2 of these, mainly because they're really useful in a jam, because of, because they're basics. They have 80 health, so they're really hard to kill if they're for a basic. And also they do Luring Flame. For 1 fire energy, you switch the defending Pokemon with your opponent's bench Pokemon. The new defending Pokemon is now burned. So that's like that Electrike's Roar, but also they're burned. So it also does damage. And you can keep doing that like I said, you can do that any which way to Sunday, and just annoy the hell out of your opponent while you set up your bench for a proper hard hit. And Vapor Kick, if your opponent has any water Pokemon in play, this attack does 30 damage plus 30 more damage. So that's 60 damage. You're looking at 60 damage against a water Pokemon. While you'd obviously set up your Luxrays or your Manectrics to do even more damage on the electric side. So I run 2 of them. They're very useful, again. Helped me out of some really tight jams. I only run Blaziken, really. That's the fire side of this deck. Because, again, similar to the Luxray, 2/2/2. So I run 2 of these Torchics. Mainly because this Torchic is insane. Because no energies, so if you go first turn, you stick out this Torchic, you just go focus energy, no energies needed. During your next turn, Torchic's Fire Shard attacks base damage is 80. So in 2 turns you could defeat a basic. The only problem with Fire Shard is you have to flip a coin, and if tails, this attack does nothing. So it's quite a gamble, but 50-50 chance of doing 80 damage in 2 turns. For a basic, for a starter Pokemon, that's pretty insane. So I run 2 of them. And I run Combuskin. 2, exactly the same. And this Combuskin does bulk up for 30. During your next turn, each of Combuskin's attacks do 30 more damage to the defending Pokemon before applying weaknesses. But 30, and then, 1 energy, you can do 60 damage. So that's 90 damage in 2 turns. Or double kick for 50, and you flip 2 coins. So I don't really like flipping coins for attacks. I like playing safe because I'm incredibly unlucky. But that could do 130 damage in 2 turns after using bulk up. So that's pretty insane. And these are my 2 Blazikens. 2 completely different ones. I can't remember which runs these two are from, but they're pretty powerful. Let me explain. The first one has 130 health, so not as healthy as some other stage 2s, but has a poker power. So Fire Breath. Once during your turn before you attack, you may choose one of the defending Pokemon. That Pokemon is now burned. This power cannot be used if Blaziken is at a special condition. So you could just set up this Blaziken on your bench and just keep burning your opponent. And when it's ready, you could unleash Fire Spin or Clutch. Let me explain Clutch first. Getting ahead of myself. Clutch, 2 energies, 40 damage. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. Against some, say, Ghost decks, that's really useful, because they always switch hit, or decks with no retreat costs. And Fire Spin for 100, and you discard 2 energies attached to this Blaziken. You may think that's a bit risky, especially since I'm running 2 types, but that just says 2 energies. So you could, using Manectric, using Attract Current on this Manectric, you could just beef up this Blaziken with energies, with electric energies, stick 2 fire energies on it, and just keep dispensing of the electric ones. So yeah, that's quite a safe 100 damage right now. The other Blaziken does not have a poker power, although it does Blaze Kick, 2 energies, 40 damage. Flip a coin if heads, this attack does 30 more damage. If tails, the defending Pokemon is now burned. So that's a very safe coin flip. Then Flamethrower for 130 and discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. So again, you could just boost this one with electric energies and just dispense them and keep all the fire energies to it. So it can still use this attack. So those are the main heavy hitters of this deck. Those are the one-shot KOs of this deck. So yeah. So it's electric for really techy, really annoying, and it's the fire side for just straight up damage. Let me move on to the trainers. I have a single Scott. I'm running quite long in this, and I have an awful lot of trainers, so you can pause the video if you want to read them. I'll just make sure they're in focus for you. So yeah, I run one Scott, just one Scott because, well, reader's ability, or you know its ability. One luxury ball. I run 3 rare candies. It's quite self-evident why I'd run them, because I run quite a lot of stage 2s, and it's quite fun when you go from Shinx straight to Luxray or Torchic straight to Blaziken and completely screw up your opponent. I run 3 Celios networks. Let me get that in focus. Mainly because, well, you can search for any Pokemon with them, so that's always useful. And I run 3 Roseanne's Research. It's really good for setting up the plus and the min combo, or the Manectric combo. Really useful card. I run 3 level balls because an awful lot of this deck has Pokemon which are under 90 health. The only 4 cards that have over 90 health are the Luxrays and the Blazikins. And as I've explained, you can actually be really annoying and survive quite long without those 2 even on your bench. 4 Pokemon communications, quite self-evident. You really need to run a lot of these in a 2-type deck, because if you're drawing loads of supporters for your electric side and you have quite a lot of fire Pokemon, you just trade them out, and vice versa. 4 Cylons, again, you just need these for a 2-type. Well, to be honest, you just need these. Search for 3 energies, of basic energies of any kind. It's quite self-evident. 8 fire energies. I only run 8 because the only one that needs it is Blaziken, and like I said, you mainly feed him electrics, and you provide him with 2 fires and he's ready to go, and 10 electrics. 10 electric energies because you're going to be searching for these a lot, and none of the electric Pokemon actually dispense or discard any electric energies, so they're going to be staying there. So yeah, that is my deck, and that's the tactics of it. If you have any comments, leave them down below, like right down there. Please subscribe or like this video. We really need your support. Right. Thank you.